that much more to come. So for the rest of you who's here a little bit late, it's 8:18 here in the West, and good morning to you. I'm Joe Slick, your host, and I wanted to share with you what the heck's been going on in the war of Iran, and a little touch on how it plays in Russia, and what's been going on there, the massive problems that Russia has. If the war were to stop today, Russia would take years to recover from what's been going on, and hopefully Ukraine would survive. And that's just the two wars in the world that's pretty massive. So yeah, it's nonstop, isn't it? Yeah, constantly nonstop. I guess today, the beginning of the midterm voting starts to take place. And what's going to play havoc in the midterms is the fact that the Navy has turned around 27 ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and Trump is expected to start bombing once the ceasefire ends. And domestically, Trump is disappointed that the interest rates aren't being cut right now. Yep. And in Virginia, there's talk about corruption during the election. So there's some shenanigans happening there. As the early vote is tightening and to redistricting. I even said it wrong again. Redistricting races take place. Democrats are really, really, really going after the House and the Senate so that they can impeach this president and remove and put us back under Islam, and a push for Islam and socialism, as the last 5 presidents beyond Trump were doing. Oh boy, it's pretty bad. The Labor Secretary, Chavez D. Reamer, resigns. Yeah. Amid allegations that inappropriate conduct by her and her closest aides. Yeah. White House Director of Communications Chung wrote on X that she has done a phenomenal job in her role, but by protecting American workers, enacting fair labor practices, and helping Americans gain additional skills to improve their lives. And yet came back 30 minutes later after 2 sources familiar with the matter told a digital outlet about Chavez's resignation. So Chavez is going to take a job in the private sector. Her tenure has been hampered by multiple scandals, including an investigation into alleged extramarital affairs. Yep, it'll always happen. You know, if you don't want to get pregnant, close your legs and stop playing around. Well, when you go and you're part of any administration and you're part of any position of power, I guess you're your base humanistic, desires rise up and force you to cheat on your spouse. Well, strange events happening in Mexico as well. 2 U.S. officials were killed in a car wreck. Were CIA officers in Chihuahua. It's like, well, they were tied to a major drug breakdown, and that sounds kind of hokey, huh? Yeah. Now, I heard something going on with our fired former UK official. He says he was forced to prove Mendelssohn as a U.S. ambassador. I wonder why. You can hear all the stories. We've told you about the stories and about Mendelssohn, the British ambassador to Washington. Yeah, Carl's Keir Starmer, old dickhead himself, forced him to rush through the appointment despite security concerns. I wonder why. The testimony of Foreign Office head Ollie Robbins turns up the heat on Starmer, who is facing a calls to resign over the appointment of a scandal-tainted former politician and friend of Jeffrey Epstein to one of UK's most important diplomatic posts. I don't know how that guy's still in power over there. He's had more shit on him than Trump has. Trump they throw it at him, but he's got Teflon. Teflon Trump, shoot. Yeah. There's a help for the UAE with the president, with the current administration, help the UAE financially and currency swap with them to bail them out. Basically, swap the UAE was under consideration, calling them a good ally. Trump was like, hey, why do they need help? Because I'm surprised they're really rich. But hey, if I could help them, I would help them because they're a good ally. I don't know. Everybody seems to have their hand in our pockets, right? Kind of wonder. There's a flip up on or change up of leadership in Apple, and so we'll see what happens with them. Hungary is not happy with Netanyahu, and they're trying to do some. Peter declared Monday, Magyar declared Monday his country would detain anyone wanted by the ICC, which is, the International Court. And you know what? I think we ought to disband that son of a bitch, just like disband the UN and the NATO. But NATO's supposedly our allies, right? National Atlantic Treaty Organization. That means if something happens, it's war with all of us. Not really, because it's predicated on whether or not, I think it's Title II, whatever. If somebody, attacks us, then we got to talk about it? No. No, we don't have to talk about it. We just have to get her done. And Iran has been attacking the U.S. for years. And they attacked us in 79 and took, how many days? Over a year, those hostages were held by them sons of bitches. And then they killed a bunch of troops that we had over there in peacekeeping in Lebanon and several other places. And I gave you the list, and that's when we got shut down. And so I'm not going to give the list anymore. But Canuck says, Great Reset is in progress. We have 7 years once Abraham Accords are officially signed. That is what I think. This is the whole Iran thing is about. Tulips Peace Board is a Sunni Muslim countries who will rebuild Gaza and Iran and Ukraine. Yep. Trump's a peace board. Yeah, it is all lining up there, isn't it, Canuck? But gotta wonder. Even bring it outside of the eschatology teachers with Magog and Gog and all them, and look at the asteroid called Wormwood. That's key too. So, yeah. We are entering probably 2029 will be a really, 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 really big year. And it isn't the only one that's going to happen in 2029. Friday the 13th. I think it's in April. Could be wrong in that. But I know it's on Friday the 13th. So look it up. That's when the asteroid will hit Earth. They say no, it won't, but they're not too sure. In Texas, Paxton is suing Act Blue, alleging donor fraud. Well, that's pretty crazy. And dipshit Harris, former VP, she says she's not done. She's going to run again. Didn't you learn the first time? Yeah, I guess there's a prisoner release thing happening with Cuba. Oh my God. Hold on a second. I apologize. President Obama's policies still playing havoc today throughout the military, throughout organizations. That fag has decided to destroy America from within, and that's why his husband can say, "What's this thing about a flag? What all this shit about a flag?" Right when he's ready to take office. And he said, "Yeah, I know, right?" He never was an American. He never was. He never loved America. He's a POS, and a gay one at that. Why do I say that, sir? Because it's true. Yep, because it's true. We have all these colleges that have such incredible history. And we've always wondered why the elite, so to speak, are in bed with each other or entitled, and they get away with so much. Could it be that Harvard and the rest of them are just a breeding ground for those to be manipulated later on in life so that somebody maintains control over them. In the news today, again, Harvard's Epstein ties are deeper than previously known, is one of the headlines. So it's is the Epstein thing really a thing, or is it red herring? Is it a topic that we need to talk about and bring to mind so that we don't see something else, or is it a real thing? The CIA head, Brennan, well, there's a grand jury now put together for him. Subpoenas have gone out because they're investigating Brennan and his ties to the coup, which worked because they removed the president. Yep, they removed the president and they attacked him fully during his presidency. And yeah, we were told, hey, the CIA has got 6 ways from Tuesday to get you. And that's happened. Crazy. Well, here's something good for you, man. If there's a study out there that says virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, improves bacteria that's in your gut, as well as it boosts brain functions. Do you use that in your diet, or do you use just butter? I cook with extra virgin olive oil all the time. Smoking vape raises asthma attack risk. No shit. That's a non-brainer. Do you know anybody who's taking chemotherapy? And if you do, you know that there are side effects for that. One of the major side effects is brain fog. And no, I don't take it. I just got permanent brain fog. But a regimen of low dose ibuprofen and exercise can help you and help them. Based on a report from today's Cancer Journal. And that is one of the main side effects, in the fog that they're taking. I mean, think about it. They've got cancer and they're taking chemotherapy and they're just a freaking zombie. But if you get them moving and you give them some ibuprofen and you keep that moving, they can still be with you. And you can fight it together. And supporting somebody who's undergoing cancer treatment and the devastating effects of that poison that they're putting in, it's completely terrible. So it's, yeah. on that note, I'll leave that. Um, you know about psychedelic drugs? The president signed into, um, not into law, but into a historical move from his office. Uh, I've seen it where the effects of the psychedelic drugs administered appropriately have helped those with PTSD from the war really significantly. And at wars, war in general, because it's a sin against your soul to kill somebody, and it's a sin against humanity, and you're part of that humanity, and there are repercussions all over the place, or consequences for going to war and killing and the like. So yeah, I don't like the idea of any kind of drugs. I'm anti-drug altogether, but if it does help, then I know CBD does help with arthritis. It didn't just tell the mind to shut off, but it it aids in the recovery of arthritis. And I've seen it affect Parkinson's. Radically affects people with Parkinson's, where they're shaking really bad, and the effects of what marijuana does in helping them, and how it helps it properly administered, that is. So think about it. There are some things that we do help. So my first thing is always prayer. So think about that too. I bet Pakistan wants to pipeline to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's already built their pipeline. It goes into the mountains with massive storage units in the mountains, and then it comes out the other side. I don't know. I'm reading chat, so if you didn't think I was like, what? Where'd that come from? Looking up, what is it? It's not Livewire. It's maritime traffic. Yeah. All right. Oh, here. Moving on down. All right. And this is evidence that it's in effect right now. So are you ready? Here you go. Okay. Right over here, they have a pipeline that goes through these mountains over to this side. In these mountains, there are pipelines or storage in the mountains themselves. So all these round dots, right, are ships that are just sitting there. All these red ones are trying to move through. You can see some of them have been turned around. And the same over here. But these areas here, there is fuel, but it's not a lot that moves through. And the UAE and Saudi Arabia here have worked on it. So that's what's going on with this. So there is another avenue. It takes too long. there are a lot of ships that are out here, and I think this area, is going to go crazy. And I don't know. I just think this island becomes property of the U.S. and all these others. Here's Karg. We take that one and we take the other one, and we take all these other islands, and we make it part of the UN, I guess. And it funds the UN, so we don't have to do it no more. What else? I think the USA and Israel attacked the RGC next, and the Saudis attack the Emirates will too. It'll be a full Jeremiah 49, where the Iran leaders will be attacked from all sides and no place to run. Pakistan and Afghanistan, they can run too. Whoever's installed as a government in Iran should be Sunni, so goes with Gog and Magog. Pahlavi may be a figurehead king, but president of Iran be aligned with the Sunnis, I bet. Well, that's why Pakistan's involved, because Pakistan's Sunni. If it's true that Trump wants a president of Iran and not Pahlavi, he is Muslim guy who is enemy of Khomeini and a reformer. He is rich Iranian guy who controls shipping. The king of Iran, or the Shah, so to speak, he is his dad was the Shah before, so I know that Tusi and the rest of them, they want him, but somehow Trump doesn't see it, and maybe his advisors don't see that guy as a viable help, because he just doesn't have the support there. I have to look him up again. Okay, go ahead, bud. Yeah, there's only one God, and all the other ones are a figment of mankind's imagination, making them out to be gods when they're not. They're entities, but they're not God. They're all created entities. There's only one place for God. So let me see if this thing is a map. I think there's a way to show you the layers here. Map features. No, I guess not. I'm not going to pay for the program to unlock it. A lot of ships out there. Yeah, Europe is getting pummeled. Yeah. But anyway, let's go right into the morning report here and talk about space weather. Yeah. Solar wind now is at 527. It was kicked up a little bit. A couple of C flares. Proton densities at 2. The Lyrid meteor shower peaks tonight. The Lyrid, Lyrid meteor shower peaks April 21 to 22 as the Earth passes through a stream of debris from the comet Thatcher, 1861 G1. This shower typically produces about 15 naked eye meteors per hour. A fun way to experience the Lyrids is listening to the radio reflections. Yeah. If you want to check that out, radio reflections. All right. Live radio feed. Think about it, man. If you can hear it from... Yeah. You can hear it when they go... Right? If you want to have that feed, you can have it. The Lyrid meteor shower is visible, right? The Lyrid 1861 GS Thatcher, which has passed through the inner solar system in 1861. Don't expect this comet to return anytime soon. As its orbit has been calculated to be near 100 or 415 years away before it happens again. 2 years after the last passage, the comet through the inner solar system, an impressive display of meteors was observed. This helped link the relationship between the comet and the Lyrids, and also noted that another impressive display of the Lyrids occurred in 1803, 60 years prior. Despite the fact that no one was looking for enhanced rates from the Lyrids in the 1920s, yet in 1922 another strong Lyrid display occurred. You would have thought by now that astronomers would be eagerly anticipating in the early 1980s for more enhanced Lyrid activity, but unfortunately meteor studies tend to fall off by the wayside. Even the tremendous display in 1966, again in 1982, meteor watchers were caught off guard by another Lyrid outburst that occurred. I can only hope during the 2040s that will be on guard for another grand meteor display. So there's been unverified reports of lesser outbursts led to think that there may be debris from the comet trapped in the shorter orbits with 12 to 20 year return periods. So there you go. The normal Lyrid seen in moonless conditions usually offers around 10 to 15 meters per hour. A normal random meteors rate is 5 per hour. In 26, the peak is predicted to occur near 1940 universal on April 22nd. This corresponds to 3:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12:40 p.m. In the afternoon on the 21st, which is today. The peak is sharp but only a few hours long, so don't be surprised if you see far less than 15 per hour. Yet when compared to the normal low activity seen during the late winter and early spring nights, the nights around the 23rd offer the nice bit of entertainment. So stay awake. 8 degrees. Okay, so there are no bright stars to pinpoint the radiant yet. A brilliant zero magnitude star known as Vega only lies 8 degrees to the northeast. The best strategy to see the meteor is to view from the darkest site possible. The more stars you see, the more meters you'll be able to visibly see. View as late possible on 4 to 5 a.m. local daylight time is the best. When the radiant is located highest in the sky, if you are limited more civilized hours, then start around 10 p.m. I guess this is the calendar. Yeah. Oh, shut up. I'll go ahead and post that for you if you're interested. I like watching the meters. They're pretty cool. I remember watching when I was a kid with my dad. So northeast. Good rates of 3 nights centered around the maximum peak. The moon will be 27%. Yeah, it was just like that last night. April 14, April 19, May 28. Meteor shower calculator. Here you go. This is, there you go. If you like watching meteors, meteors, there you go. I'm going to keep that one. And you see when Earth intersects a cloud, there you go. Dust particles coming from it, eh? There's the Earth spinning around. Today is 4/21. So the dates are changing there. Mid-August, there's Perseids, right? We see that one all the time in midsummer. There's another group that happens late July. There's another one. Happens in July. This one's a pretty bitchin' one. Did I put this one in there for you? Yeah, let me put this one in for you. Yeah, I'll dig that. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. 4419 has Beta Gamma magnetic field, but it hasn't produced any M's, right? And there's only one that's disappearing. When it gets closer to the edge, then I'm going to wonder. There's one small one coming back, but they don't have it named yet. The sun has been pretty quiet. Norway, long time watcher, Geir Birkeland, a rare blue aurora corona appeared overhead, he said. Let's see this. There it is right there. Yeah, that's a specific kind of gas. I forget what it's called. If somebody knows, they can put it on there, but maybe they'll tell us. Auroras are usually red or green, almost never blue. Yeah, sign of nitrogen. That's the blue. Nitrogen particles, pretty rare. It's produced by solar wind particles hitting the ionized molecular nitrogen N2 plus at the top of Earth's atmosphere. This the problem is there were very few N2 plus ions up there. The feeble blue they produce is practically invisible. Yeah, that's what the lizard people like, is the nitrogen. They want to kill the carbon dioxide. For blue auroras to reach naked visibility, something must amplify the light from the nitrogen ions. The amplification process is called resonant scattering, and it will definitely happen on the 21st. That's today, baby. The blue auroras to reach, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Right now it says that KP is what? Okay, we had a small geomagnetic storm of 4.67 here. And 12 hours ago. And again, late yesterday. Nothing right now. It's a little bit unsettled. It's at 3.33. So there you have it. Class M chances at 5, X is at 1. And today being the 21st, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rocks out there. 500,000 miles, 1,000,000 miles, 2 million miles, near 3 million miles, and again, 1 million miles, but that's the next day tomorrow. The largest of this is 141 feet across, and it's about 2 million miles out there, going super fast, about 20,000 miles an hour. Yeah, crazy. There is tomorrow a pretty huge rock, over 600 foot. Yeah, and it will be roughly 2.5 to 3 million miles away. So that's what's happening there. Looking at predictive value, yeah, Canuck is back. Yeah, he's starting to feel a little better, I hope. Yeah. And yeah, this new solar wind. Oh my God. Yeah, no, plasma, a little bit of plasma, and then it's going to drop off. Yeah. 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 Not gonna be a factor. Looking at Lascaux. Oh, check this out. Wow. This has got to be the backside of the sun. Something let loose. Pretty good size. Wow. Oh, it's over here too. All right, so we have new sunspots coming in. One just let off. Yeah. Let's check it out again. A big filament or something will let off. This got brighter. You can see it coming over the top here and on the bottom here. Yeah, it was a big one. Wow, it just happened. Yeah, he's moonlighting, Timmy. Yeah, he's moonlighting. Working at Flying J. Yeah. He cleans their poles over there. Looking at your planets. Earth looking at the sun. Venus is off, and the other one's off. Uranus is on the back side of the sun, so looking at them, Uranus is way out there. We can't see anything else. We might be able to see Ceres if we looked at the sun on that image in Lascaux. Might be able to see it. One of these dots, maybe. You know, maybe that one out here is Uranus, or that one up there. You know, pretty far out there. 6 p.m. here, hour to go before heading home. Well, hopefully you're safe and nobody can, get you. So, yeah, pretty far out, watching that pretty good pop on the back side of the sun. Wow. Wow. Well, we'll see if it's going to come around us, right? Looking at the tremors in the Pacific Northwest for earthquakes of that and movement. A little bit in the San Juan Islands, and as well as remaining here in the Trinity National Forest, just south of Shasta, southwest. Vibrations going on. The buoys. Let's see if the buoys are still active from yesterday. Nope, they're quiet now. No drunk Chinamen out there. All right, looking at the volcano news today. What made the news, according to Volcano Discovery, is Santa Guido, Fuego, Simiru, Ibu de Cono, Reventador, Mayon, and Sangay. So it looks like Guatemala, Indonesia, Halmahera, and Ecuador, and the Philippines. So Ecuador going 16,000, 11,000. That's a Reventador. That didn't make the news, but sure did. Sakurajima, I saw it pop the other day. 12,000. It's a 4,600 foot mountain there in the bottom of Japan. 12,000. Now, after northern Japan's earthquake, generally speaking, there is a threat, small threat, 1-2%, that it was a precursor earthquake that could have a larger earthquake come in. And or, I think a little bit better probability is earthquake down in the Nankai Trough. When I'm looking at them, I see the north goes first before Nankai, and we have our resident believer of the Nankai, Canuck, on the line, and I wonder what he's thinking his thoughts are after that 7.4. We'll see if he responds. Sakurajima, again, popping off. Little stronger. The reason I say Nankai, because Sakurajima's on the bottom of the Nankai. Dakona over there in Halmahera, popping to 9,000 feet now. It's a 36 to 3,800 foot mountain going to 9,000. So a little bit stronger there in the Celeb Sea and just south of the Philippines. Taal volcano. 200 foot? Yeah, 2,000 feet. It isn't a big one, but it erupted. And that's in the central Philippines, actually on the northern island of the Philippines, and it's a super volcano. So when it starts to smoke and kick up, I don't think I've seen magma come out, but I've seen some, I think they call them phreatic, where it's water related. I could be wrong with that, but we watched a few years ago where steam just completely was coming out of that, and it dried up the little lake that around there, and then I think the lakes come back. Sangay, there in Ecuador, 20,000. It's a 17 and change, so call it 2,500 foot. Kind of like the 2011 setup. That's what you're thinking, bud? Yeah. That's what Japan is on alert for right now. Yeah, he just said that. Yeah, Japan's on alert. Yep. And the Japan people are pretty good about that stuff. Now, I've seen it where they've called it and it didn't happen, but yeah, that's part of the game. Semeru, 15,000 there off of Java in Indonesia. Little Toby, the ground report said 900 foot popping out of there. Oh. Fuego, 14,000 feet out of Fuego. It's 12.3. Reason I say it with the height of the mountain is because it's always based upon sea level. So 14,000, okay, well, the mountain is 12.3. Between 12.3 and 14, that's the real eruption height. Okay? Mahon, popping to 9,000. It's basically 9,000 already in the Philippines. Canlo in the Philippines again. So there's 3 volcanoes in the Philippines popping, 2 in Halmahera, and then you get down into the islands before Java, and those are popping, and now Java's popping, as well as Sumatra. So the entire maritime continent on its perimeter is erupting. Yes, even Krakatoa erupted the other day. What? Yeah, it's smoking. It got busy. Why? Because there were a bunch of earthquakes right there in the strait. All right. So It happens. Sakurajima, 11,000 feet out of 40-something. Sakurajima. Tsunozajima hasn't made the news in a long time, but I don't know why. Shimiru, 15,000 out of 12.3. Santa Guido, Guatemala, extrusive explosion eruption of volcano. Near the constant weak and moderate volcanion-sized eruptions. Intervals between 1 to 2 per hour. Viscous but gas-poor magma squeezers. Yeah. Reventador, 17,000 out of an 11,000-foot mountain there in Ecuador, just south of Colombia, on the northwestern perimeter of South America. Sabancaria, down in the armpit of South America. No emissions were observed, and it's a 19,000-foot volcano that is very active. Dukono, over there in Holimarahara, 8,000. Ibu Dukono, 8,000 feet. You know, they're like 3,000-foot pops all the time, all day long. Very, very, very active in there in Holimarahara. Sangay. Yeah, still popping. Mayon there in the Philippines, 9,000, same thing. Ibu, 7,000, you know, and that's that. All right, so there's your volcano news. Well, today I'm going to use the EMSC and talk about a little bit about these earthquakes that have been going on. Mom and I were looking at what was happening in, or was it here? Southeast of France, near Switzerland, in Switzerland actually. We saw a series of earthquakes happening up there. They were small, but why? There's a lot of folds in that area, so kind of interesting. We did a little study, so you missed that. We talked about that yesterday. 5 nuclear power plants are in danger of this, including Fukushima. The 7 are inboard a trench subducting plate at a base depth. 9s are usually hit closer to the trench after 7 plus 4 shocks. Yeah, that's why we're watching them. Also, you can see Kamchatka right here, 4.3. Working up a sweat. And then we also have, Japan popping here with a 3-1. Eastern Honshu, also Western Honshu, Japan, 3.3. Well, yeah, that's Eastern Honshu, that's Western, but both are on the western side of the trench. That would suggest that some movements moving down the whole entire part of Japan. Holimarahara, this actually is the Philippines right here, and there's a 3.4. Holimarahara is right here. Mayon is here, Canloan's here, and Taal is here. So all of this area. And then we got Little Toe Low, Little Toe B by Timor. And we got Simiru on Java and a couple other ones up on Sumatra. They're all very busy. And then Sabancaya, of course, in Guatemala. All bang around. I'm going to go back 12 hours on this just to catch up. Timor region. Oh, look at Timor. Bang, 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 bang. Right here. This little area. Bang, 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 bang. Little Toe Low, Little Toe B. Right here. Toe Low, Toe B. Volcanoes. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And there's some activity that's been out here moving through Timor. Timor can rock and roll, baby. There's no doubt. They're in Indonesia. Even southern part of Australia, 2.8. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Timor 5.5, 4.4, and several 3s. Molucca Sea, a 4, which is by Halmahera. Myanmar border region up in here, India and Myanmar at 3.9. Eastern Timor still banging away. This morning, the Mona Passage in Puerto Rico got a 3. So, right up in here. It looks like Hawaii banged up a little bit too. Canary Islands are starting to say hello again with a 1.8. Spain there. We watched the Canaries right here. We watch out here, and then the Canaries blast off. Always watching for Lisbon. Here's a 2.3, Gibraltar. Lisbon being here, 1755. 2 8s happened in 1755 and 1760, and it destroyed Lisbon and changed the course of history for that region because of Lisbon burning down. Honshu, Japan, 5.4, 4.7. I usually look only at 4s and above, unless I start to see a trend. 7 hours out, not a whole lot going on. Here's a 4, Chiapas, Mexico, 144 depth. New Zealand, 4.3 at a 288 depth. So you think the Nankai needs another 9 here. The Kurils will probably go 8+ after that. I'm thinking that too. I mean, we see New Zealand, offshore New Zealand got a 7, and then it went to the Kurils and got an 8 and another 7. A few years back, we watched all that. Right now, we see a lot of activity in Central America. We see a lot of activity across the U.S. As well. But let me finish up what I'm seeing here worldwide. Bellini Islands region, 5.7 down here. That's on the Antarctic, Pacific rim here. 5.7. That happened 5 hours ago, almost 6. South of the Loyalty Islands popped with a 5. Kind of a rare. I remember when the New Caledonia here was rocking and rolling, and so was the Loyalty. But then they just kind of drop off, right? We're 3 hours out. Not seeing a whole lot. Lots of little 3s everywhere. 5-0 Oaxaca. Okay, there's a strong quake. Oaxaca, Mexico. Bam! With a 5. All right. So now we're going to start watching that. Western Honshu, Japan, 3. That was an hour ago. Let's go ahead and look at the USGS. Change this to terrain. Yesterday we noticed a series of earthquakes worked their way all the way across the U.S. We're seeing that again today. Here's another one in the Virginia, and then Oklahoma, Utah, and then offshore of Oregon. And then we're still seeing up the coast The Texas liniment is working from Oregon here, right here, Weaverville, which is basically Tahoe, where the Walker Lane and Texas split. And Walker Lane goes now south into the shear zone, and Texas continues to work its way through Nevada, which again, Silver Springs pops again. A lot of activity up there. And then it works its way through Texas and through Corpus Christi and out here to the oceans, and then ends up down here. Haven't seen anything happening down there yet. We've seen the St. Lawrence activity work its way through to Baja. Yesterday there was a 4. USGS did not report it. Yeah, they just, yeah. But now you know, you've seen it all, and on both the USGS and the like, all days. There we go. The Wasatch is active, and you can see earthquakes in Georgia, or in South Carolina, and Memphis, not Memphis, but Tennessee, and West Virginia, Oklahoma, Utah, and all the way up. An odd quake, rare quake happened in Sheridan, Oregon, so we'll see. Yeah. Lots of activity. What else? Is there anything? Oh, we can look at some COD. Wait, first let's look at the storm index. Strong showers moving through eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi are in tow for that one, and even Missouri. As you can see, that's what this is, and you can see unstable weather here in the west, coming up band after band. Yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the upper level. You see it dry out here, and if you look at the lower level, completely dry, moving in as these things move west or east. The super hot stuff's offshore, though, except for if you're in Florida and Mississippi and Georgia. Moving up from also from Mexico into southern Cal and AZ and New Mexico later today. I think that'll be it. All right. Right. Well, if you missed any part of this report, you can also see it on YouTube. I posted on YouTube as well as all the other videos. When Canuck is feeling better, we'll kick up the rabbit hole again. But I've had a lot on my plate, and I took advantage of this because he's not been available, can't read, so triple decker brain, he can't read. Breaking news: IRG has called for jihad on the USA. Guess negotiations are over. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see, right? Well, I appreciate y'all for listening. I appreciate your subscriptions and your tips and gratuities. Your participation is really, really great. I appreciate y'all. Remember, don't get none on you, and come Friday, get you some. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out. Love you.